Give it up for your FCA worship team! Thank you guys. This week, it's been a tough week. As a leader, I see things that you guys don't. I don't think we were even supposed to be in this room this week, because I know something awesome was about to happen. That's why there were so many attacks. And I'm gonna introduce a man who really doesn't need any introduction. This man loves people so much, like, I can't love as much as this guy loves. And he's so passionate about kids because he wants to see something special happen in each and every one of you guys' life. It's been a tough week, but I know this is the breakthrough. Whatever you went through this week, forget that. It's today. Today's the day. His love awakens us. The dead will come back to life. Welcome Spence Helm for your message.
Hey, Tyler. Shout out to Vic for getting all this started. Y'all make some noise for him. He's awesome. I want to say thank you to you guys. From the first time I ever walked in here was last Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're running around trying to find Domino's for everybody. And then you guys are so hungry, you eat all the pizza, so I have to order more pizzas, which is a blessing because everyone loves pizza. But from the first minute I walked in here, you guys loved on me, man. You made me feel so welcome. So shout out to you guys. Make some noise for yourselves right now. Seriously, y'all made me feel family. Y'all made me feel family. You guys want family and have to be good people like that. Man, so thanks for having me out here today. They keep posting like all kind of pictures on Instagram about some hype beats coming in. I'm not a hype, I'm just a regular dude, alright? I'm the sleeper hype beats, you know what I'm saying? But y'all, thank you so much for having me today. I also want to introduce somebody that I love a whole lot. She came down all the way from Stanton, Virginia, 3.5 hours away to see me. My beautiful Beyonce beautiful brother. Guys don't get too long and beat my way up trying to smooth her eyes. She's mine. I already put a ring on it, right? I don't know how she fell for me. Can I just say, walking with Jesus has its benefits, amen? Right? Like, there's no way that I should be able to marry a girl like that. But I mean, maybe Jesus is so good, like he put some kind of spell on her, so every time she sees me, she sees like Channing Tatum or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm thankful. Jesus can do miracles, right? Just look at me. I'm a walking example for my fiance right there. But man, Vic called me in to come speak. I'm a student pastor at a church right down the road. Has anyone ever been to Cloud 9? You know the jump house where everyone breaks their femurs, right? That place is dangerous. Just don't go in there, you'll die. My church is connected right to that place. So it's pretty awesome. Anytime we get bored, we just go bounce around the bounce house, right? Don't tell anyone else, you know, I get paid to bounce around. It's pretty cool. But I do student ministry, 6th to 12th grade. I really love high school ministry. I love my middle schoolers, right? But there's only so long you can talk to them before they start farting and running around, right? Like their attention span is like 3 seconds. I love them, my middle schoolers are awesome, but I love high school ministry. You guys are at such a crazy point in your life, so many things are happening, you're getting to know really who you are as an individual for the first time, right? And sometimes that can get really confusing. Can I get an amen on that? Amen, right? Everyone's trying to get you to be what they want you to be, right? Everyone's trying to get you to conform to this identity, whether it is a hype beast, an athlete, whatever it might be. But I want to let you know that today God has an identity for you. I was talking about this with my fiance just a few nights ago. It was awesome talk. But it's hard to figure out who we are, right? I mean, I remember going through my high school years and just wandering around, not knowing why I was here, but I still look back and I remember I asked myself that question, why am I here? Has anyone ever asked that question? What's my purpose? What's my purpose in life? Why do I exist? Because there's times, I'm just going to be honest with you, that I didn't feel like existing any longer when I was a kid. So the only thing I want to share with you today is I want to share you just a little bit of my story. You know, I'm up here, I'm a pastor, that's awesome, right? I was not always a pastor. I'll be honest, when someone said that when I was a young boy, they said, hey, you're going to be in ministry one day. I didn't even know what that meant, but I remember looking at the pastor that was preaching on the stage, and I said to myself, like, vehemently, I am not going to be it. He is wearing a goofy suit. Like, to this day, I hate ties. Does anyone hate ties?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Does anyone hate like really tight dress pants? I hate it. Or loose. I don't like it at all. Like I wear sweatshirts and jeans and tennies all day. Anyone else like that? Thank you, all my people. Right? I just like being comfy, right? And I couldn't imagine myself being a pastor on that stage. And I ran as far away from that as possible. Man, I kind of grew up. I had a family, but I was alone, right? Mom and dad weren't really ever at the house. They were busy, they were working hard, right, to bring the bread to the table. So me and my brothers we grew up alone, really with each other. Does anyone kind of have a home like that sometimes? My mom and dad always working, or maybe they just ain't in the house at all, right? And you're kind of fending for yourselves. You're figuring out on your own how to do things, right? There's a lot of things that even after I became 18, I left the house, right? I didn't know how to do because no one had ever showed me, right? I was just trying to be a man in my own identity with my own best ideas, and they didn't get me very far. So I remember that was a big struggle for my life. Me and my brother just kind of did our own thing for years and years. So I'll share just a little bit of my story. When I was in 6th grade, man, I was tired of being just a kid, just like the kid that doesn't get in that much trouble. Well, I had ADD, so I always got in trouble. Any ADD people in here, right? We loud and proud. Thank you so much, right? We get in trouble, we don't know why we get in trouble. We're just trying to live life, right? We're happy, we're excited, and everyone's always trying to rain on our parade. I know the struggle's real. So I started getting in trouble all the time, and I couldn't understand why. And so I just got rebellious against them. Like, if I'm going to get in trouble, I might as well just be a troublemaker, right? Like, I remember watching movies, like, I love old westerns. Does anyone like westerns in here, right? Okay, I'm the only weirdo. Thank you. We got 2 people. Amen. Shout out to y'all right there. And I remember people like John Wayne and James Dean, and I see like the rebel without a cause. Like that's what I wanted to be like. No one else is looking out for me. Like no one else is spending time. I'm going to be my own man. I'm going to do my own thing. So I started blazing my own trail in middle school early on. I tried to get from crowd to crowd to crowd, trying to find my identity. I had new friends every single week, not because I couldn't keep them. I just wanted to figure out who I was and what I liked. And I figured out in 6th grade that I really liked skateboarding. Does anyone else like skateboarding in here? Thank you. Okay, this half, okay, we got some of this half, more on this half right here. I picked up a board for the first time, and I felt like I was doing something that I was good at. And I kind of surrounded myself with that community and that group of friends, and some of them, became really good friends of mine. A lot of them were older than me, and they looked cool, and they were doing things that were different than I was. And so, 6th grade, long story short, man, I started going to detention all the time, right? I started smoking cigarettes because, man, it was cool. I'm going to admit, I liked it. I liked the way that they taste. I liked the way that it made me feel, right? I was starting to make this image for myself. Everyone say image. I was making an image for myself. My parents had no clue that I was doing this, right? Because I was never at home. They were never at home. I was just doing my own thing. I loved it, right? I love riding dirt bikes. Does anyone like dirt bikes in here? There's just, oh my gosh, there's no better feeling than dropping that thing down in the first gear and hearing that power band kick in and just going off in some trail in the woods. I love that, man. That was my identity right there. I get into high school. And so I'm already known as the bad boy in middle school, right? Like, he was just such a good Christian boy, and now he's smoking cigarettes, right? Like, that's what the people at church were saying about me. And I'm like, yeah, hey, what up? Like, you guys don't talk to me anyway. What kind of place is this? So I'm doing my own thing. Now, I walk in the first day of 9th grade, and I see all the seniors in PE. Like, literally, these guys were crazy. They went into the PE coach's office, and they pulled out all the chairs, and they were just rolling each other through the basketball court. No one could stop them, right? Because everyone was so afraid of them. I'm like, these guys are a bunch of losers right here. Like, they think they're cool. I'm going to be 20 times cooler than they are by the time that I graduate. If they think that they're making a name for us, I'm going to make an even greater name. Everyone say image. And that's what I wanted to create for myself. And so, man, I remember my first party. I walked into it. It was the middle of my 9th grade year. My friend Chris brought me there. And that's the first place I ever drank beer. And that was the first night that I ever took a hit of a joint, right? And for some reason, I loved every bit of it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not like I just did it because it was cool and everyone else pressured me. I loved it. I loved being high all of the time. I wanted to experience every part of life that I could. I loved it. And I look back and I'm like, why did I love it so much? Some of you know what I'm talking about, all right? We're going to talk to you later, all right? And I look back at my life and I'm like, why did I love it? I surrounded myself in that. It was a way, looking back now, that I could deal with the pain. I had a lot of emptiness. I didn't know what it was as a kid. I was confused. Like, I was angry about stuff. But anytime I was at a party, anytime I was with my friends, I felt some kind of love. I felt some kind of family, some kind of community. And when I was high or when I was drunk, I could just wash away all that pain. And some of you are doing that right now. You're self-medicating because you got a lot of hurt inside of you, right? And I know just because it was me, that I want to look bad on the outside, but inside, that I desperately need something. Inside, I desperately need somebody to ask me, what's going on in my life? What am I afraid of? What am I angry about? Where am I hurting? But I just kept covering that up. 10th grade, I started doing coke. I love Coke, started selling Coke. Made a lot of money. We had a guy that had a dealer in Atlanta. I'm from Georgia originally. Started doing that with my friends, right? That was the first drug that I actually quit by myself because I started going crazy. Don't do that, right? Don't do any of the stuff that I'm telling you right now. I'm being honest and vulnerable with you, not to brag about these things, but to give you a picture of my story. So I started doing that. 11th grade, man, I started getting my hands on anything I could. We met a guy, I'm just like a little boy, right? Skinny, just like a hunky white boy right here. And they're bringing me into trap houses in Atlanta. I'm like, what the heck am I doing here, right? But I try to act cool, right? You can't let no one out there know that you're afraid, right? I walk into places that have barbed wire fences around and pit bulls chained in the yard. I'm like, where the? I'm gonna die tonight, right? So I'm in there. I remember the first trap house I went to, and I'm like, well, I guess this is me now. I guess this is where I'm going, right? Started selling a lot with my friends. Man, we tried to get busted like 3 times by the drug task force that was in our county. Things were just going crazy. So I started kind of walking away from that for a little bit because all my friends went to jail. I don't know how I got out of it. God just had a plan for my life, right? Obviously. But in 12th grade, my best friend Chris, he played varsity football from the time that he was a freshman. Big dude. He was like 6'4", he weighed 250 pounds. Like, dude, he was a monster for high school. That's a 9th grade right there. By the time he was a senior, he was 10 times bigger than that. He was my big brother, right? I remember when people tried to fight me, Chris would step in the way, push me out of the way, and say, hey, you got a problem with him? Come through me first. I'm like, okay, I'll take you. Like, you're my friend right there, right? Man, I love Chris. And then I remember driving by the hospital one day on the way to work, and I saw his truck out there. But he lived with his grandpa because his dad ran off when he was a kid. Never got to meet him. He always said, I'm going to promise we're going to hang out, we're going to hang out. He never showed up. He was 19 years old, never met his dad, but his dad lived 10 minutes down the road. His dad hid from him. I thought he was in the hospital with his grandpa because his grandpa was old, right? I thought he was going to be dying, maybe sick or something. So I called him and said, Chris, what's going on? Like, is Don all right? Is your grandpa all right? Why are you at the hospital right now? He's like, it's not about my grandpa, man. It's me. I haven't been able to tell you guys, but I've been in a lot of pain lately in my stomach, and I don't know what's going on. My body doesn't feel right. I'm losing weight. I don't have an appetite, so they took me here to give me a CAT scan. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, man, you're going to be all right. Nothing can happen to you. And then he told me, with a long pause, they found a tumor. They found a tumor in my colon, and it's the size of a baseball right now, and they say that I have stage 4 cancer. And so I don't know if you've ever dealt with anybody or lost anybody that had cancer, but stage 4 is the worst, right? Like, it's not good to find it there. It's almost too late. And so I didn't know how to take the news. I was angry at first. I grew up going to church with my parents sometimes. They dragged me in as much as they could. And my first thing was to get angry at God. Like, how can you do this to my best friend? Like, Chris has been the best thing that's happened to me. He's always been there for me. He's always taken care of me. Like, I don't even have a lot of people, but Chris is like, he's my best friend, right? I can tell this guy anything. We walked through a life of 5 years together, man, doing crazy things, and we were always there for each other. So he gets cancer. 5 months later, he's scheduled for a surgery. Like, this is crazy because 18-year-old kids don't get colon cancer. It's usually a disease that's found in adults, right? Older people. And so it was crazy. All these people are wondering, how is this happening to this young man? At stage 4, at age 18, he literally had Oprah Winfrey call his house and say, we want you on our show because we want to do a Make-A-Wish for you. And Chris is just the guy, he don't like attention. He didn't even want to tell anybody he was sick, right? It got leaked out. He wasn't even going to tell the school. But he turned that down because, man, he was just miserable. He didn't know what was going on. They scheduled a surgery that was either going to be a miracle or it was going to be a disaster. And I remember at that day that he was going to surgery, I couldn't be there. My mom wouldn't let me go down there. I was angry. I was kicking. I was screaming. They took away my car ride. I was just a big jerk. And so he gets out of surgery. They got the tumor removed. And they waited a month to see what was going to happen. He went in back to CH or Emory in Atlanta a few weeks later, and they said the tumor had gone back and it's like twice the size as it was the first time. A few months later, that December, he died right after I graduated high school. That year that he started getting sick, I had a girl in my class that would always bring me painkillers. I loved getting high. She knew that, so she like literally just wiped her grandpa's medicine cabinet clean, gave them all to me, and I ran out a few months later. And when I ran out the first time, I started feeling sick, and I realized, I think I'm addicted to something. And so I started spending money going after those things. I really walked away from all the other drugs and all the pain that was going on in my life. And with Chris dying, I couldn't just help but feeding more and more and more and more of that to my life. I tried to quit. I quit for like a month right before he died. But when he died, I went in 20 times worse than I did the first time. I was hoping that God saw me quit, he would let Chris live. Chris didn't live. And so my addiction started spiraling out of control. I didn't